Good afternoon, and welcome to today's Public Facilities Commission meeting. I'm going to turn it over to Angela to, actually, first off, I would like to just vote on the minutes from the last couple of meetings. You both were present, I was not. But
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Oh, no, I am present. Angela?
Thank you, Chair Craven. Good afternoon, Commissioners. For the record, the meeting minutes that have been approved are the meeting minutes from August 14th, 2019 for the Public Facilities Department, separate meeting minutes for the Department of Neighborhood Development, and finally, meeting minutes for the Boston Transportation Department. All of those meeting minutes concern the meetings that took place on August 14th of 2019. The first order of business with us this afternoon is the Public Facilities Department. With us today is the Director of the Public Facilities Department, Patricia Lyons, and she's accompanied by Brian McLaughlin. He's the Chief of Staff. Vote number 1 is being presented by Brian McLaughlin. It's a request to award a contract to Hill International New England, Inc. to provide owner project manager services for the feasibility study and schematic design phases associated with the William E. Carter School project located at 396 Northampton Street in the South End. The contract price proposal is $387,295. Brian, if you'd present the vote request, please.
Thank you, Angela. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
I'm here to request a vote for authorization to award an owner's project manager contract to Hill International for the City of Boston's project at the Carter School. The Carter School is a Boston public school located on the border of Boston's Lower Roxbury South End neighborhoods. The 13,500 square foot building was built in the 70s as a temporary facility and serves upwards of 30 students from ages 12 to 22 with severe, intensive disabilities and complex health needs. Each classroom is composed of 5 students, 1 teacher, 2 teaching assistants. Students also work one-on-one with a variety of therapists, including occupational and physical therapists. The school's current classrooms have been retrofitted to serve the student population. However, the school was not designed for students with multiple disabilities. And the existing building's layout does not allow the staff to deliver the desired educational program. Most of the students who attend the Carter School are in wheelchairs. The building, the main hallway of the building is so narrow that you only can fit 1 wheelchair down the hallway at a time, creating a lot of difficulty when transitioning from classrooms for the staff and the students. The building does not have an art room, a music therapy room, physical education space, an aquatic pool, therapeutic pool, locker rooms, storage spaces for a lot of the equipment that these students need. In addition, there is no meeting spaces for the students and their families when they come in to work with the staff and the teachers there. For this project, the OPM's responsibilities during the feasibility study will be to assist the Public Facilities Department in managing the project team, performing cost estimating, value engineering analysis, constructability and schedule analysis, and to monitor the timely resolution of any and all issues that could potentially impact cost or schedule on this project. The OPM will assist in writing the request for qualifications for design services and help navigate and expand on the MSBA requirements for this particular project. The feasibility study will look to explore the possibility of expanding the enrollment to 60 students, evaluate the existing facility, curriculum, and space requirements to properly design a building that allows the school to deliver the desired specialized educational program that addresses the unique needs for both students and staff of the Carter School. Feasibility study and schematic design is anticipated to take between 20 and 24 months. If the project is approved for funding by the MSBA for phases beyond feasibility study, the contract awarded may be amended to provide for additional services relative to design, bidding, and construction phases through the completion of the building project. If I could direct your attention to the PowerPoint presentation. The first slide here shows the building itself. You'll see it is adjacent to Amtrak and MBTA line. There's a grassy area to the left and kind of a wooded area that houses the school's therapeutic sensory garden. It is the desire of the school to stay in this place, and this will be the location that the feasibility study focuses on. One of the main reasons is because it's the T station that's right behind the school is fully accessible It allows the students and the staff to get out into the city. They recently visited Martins Park. They attended the most recent Patriots Championship Parade, and they actually came to PFD during the holiday season and sang some Christmas carols for us, which was really nice. You'll see the street view of the building is kind of old and tired. The next slide, again, is just another picture of some of the older areas of the building. The final slide is just a picture of the staff and the students. It's a truly amazing place. One of the pictures that I want to call out is on the top that you'll see that a lot of the students in the school have written into their IEPs aquatic therapy. In working with the MSBA, who usually doesn't reimburse for pools, they've been amenable to potentially reimbursing for a therapeutic pool to assist with the needs of the students in the school. The selection process of Hill as the OPM was done through a publicly advertised competitive procurement process. The RFS for the OPM services was posted in the city's small local business enterprise office. The RFS appeared in the City Record and in the Boston Globe on July 1st, 2019. It was also advertised in the Secretary of State's Central Register on July 3rd. On July 18th, 10 firms submitted statements of qualifications in response to this RFS. The OPM Selection Committee, comprised of 6 people with experience in design, planning, and construction from the City of Boston's Public Facilities Department and BPS, reviewed the qualifications for each on a meeting on July 31st, 2019. They created a short list of 4 firms to move forward with interviews. This interview meeting was held on August 12, 2019, and Hill International was selected as a top-rate firm for the project as a result of the firm's experience with MSBA projects, Chapter 149 construction management at risk projects, and experience with tightly constrained sites, and experience in working with the MBTA agreements on prior and current projects. In conclusion, I'm seeking the Public Facilities Commission approval to award an OPM contract to Hill International, Inc., and I'm here to answer any questions that you may have on this matter.
Thank you, Brian. Any questions from the commissioners?
I think it's a great project. More of future issue, which you probably don't have the answer to, because I assume the OPM is going to be making recommendations, but since you're keeping the school in the same location, is the plan or the thought to relocate the school during construction, or, okay, so.
Yeah, we've been in working with the school for the past couple of years now. We brought in BPS to talk about that issue. It's one of the main topics that when we meet, so they're well aware that these students will have to be relocated during the time that we're in construction.
It's no question for me, just a comment, just to thank you for doing a good job laying out the importance and the impact of this project, and also explaining the process behind it and how the decision was made. So for me, I make a motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. Vote number 1 is approved. Votes 2 and 3 concern the same project, and if it's agreeable with the commission, there's a request for votes 2 and 3 to be presented jointly with a separate roll call thereafter.
Sure.
Thank you. For the record, I'll read out vote 2 and vote 3 and then ask Brian McLaughlin to present the same. Vote number 2, as presented by Brian McLaughlin, Chief of Staff with PFD, is a request for an amendment to the vote of May 21st, 2015 regarding a contract with Skanska USA Building, Inc. to provide owner project manager services associated with the Josiah Quincy Upper School project located at 900 Washington Street and 249 Harrison Avenue in Chinatown. This would be a time extension to the contract and an increase of $531,071. Vote number 3, also presented by Brian McLaughlin, is an amendment to the vote of May 21st, 2015 regarding a contract with HMFH Architects, Inc. to perform a feasibility study associated with the Josiah Quincy Upper School project located at 900 Washington Street and 249 Harrison Avenue in Chinatown. Again, this is a time extension and an increase to the design services contract of $1,174,246. Brian, if you'd present the vote request, please.
Thank you, Angela. Good afternoon. Again, here to request an amendment to the contracts for the OPM firm of Skanska and architectural firm of HMFH for the City of Boston's project at the Josiah Quincy Upper School. The Josiah Quincy Upper School is a two-school campus. The main building is located at the former Abraham Lincoln School building at 152 Arlington Street, which is the slide we have up on the screen right now. The JQS also utilizes modular classrooms located at 900 Washington Street, 2 blocks away from the Lincoln building. JQS is a 6 to 12 middle high school that offers an international baccalaureate program, which requires a full range of academic, social, cultural, and physical education programming. The current facilities cannot support this international baccalaureate program because instructional spaces do not exist in the current building. The 1911 Lincoln building consists of 72,000 gross square feet, and although the building has seen some small renovation projects to support new technology and address accessibility issues, it has seen no major projects in the last 50 years. The facility's lighting, fire alarm system, accessibility above the first floor, signage, toilet rooms, and academic specialty spaces are lacking and do not meet current city standards. Most importantly, the building does not have appropriate spaces for the school to deliver its desired educational program. The school lacks a library and media center, it doesn't have a gymnasium, and the classrooms are not designed for 21st century learning instruction. The modular classrooms provide an additional 20,000 square feet of basic classroom and office support spaces, but again, do not have the specialty spaces to support the school. The MSBA is the state authority that oversees funding of public school capital projects in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. MSBA is a reimbursement agency and works with local communities to create affordable, sustainable, and energy-efficient schools throughout the Commonwealth. It's funded through the Massachusetts sales tax. Back in 2011, the MSBA authorized the city to conduct a feasibility for the JQS. At that time, the city and MSBA agreed upon a future enrollment of 650 students, resulting in the need for an estimated 160,000 square foot building based on the school's educational program space requirements. Starting in 2011, the city hired HMFH to conduct the MSBA feasibility study for the future JQS. The city had worked diligently to identify a new home for the JQ with the goal of keeping the school in or near proximity to Chinatown. Led by PFD and BPS, the city explored over 29 possible sites for the new school. These sites included the existing Lincoln building, city-owned property, BPDA-owned property, and private property. The property reviews include various approaches to achieve the school's educational space program at a particular location. At 2 points over the past 8 years, there was a path forward with site selection. The first came in 2013 when the city and the MSBA agreed to combine the future JQS with the Boston Arts Academy and co-locate the schools on city-owned parcel 25, which is on Nealon Street, adjacent to the Southeast Expressway. At this time, through a publicly advertised and competitive procurement process, the city brought on Skanska as their OPM to assist the city of Boston in managing this project. At this time, the cost of the proposed new school was estimated at $250 million, with no money allocated to support the project. Parcel 25 was a complex site that added a level of risk that could potentially require a level of city financial contribution to the project that would negatively affect future building projects within BPS. Not wanting to impact future BPS capital projects, Mayor Walsh requested and was granted by the MSBA an opportunity to revisit the co-located JQS and Boston Arts Academy as 2 separate projects. The BAA project has moved forward on its own. It's currently in construction, and we anticipate opening that building in 2021. In 2014, the next site selection for an independent JQS began, this time focusing on city-owned and BPDA-owned property. The second site selection exercise resulted in the new JQS being built at the existing McKinley School on 90 Warren Ave in the South End. The city and its consultant team of Skanska and HMFH moved forward with the design at this location. However, in 2016, it was decided that the complexity of displacing an existing student population and relocating this school proved too difficult. and again, the project did not move forward, resulting in the need to begin a third site selection process. With the project on hold, the third site selection exercise started in late 2017, when the MSBA notified the city that the project would stay in the MSBA capital pipeline by extending the feasibility study agreement through to December 31st, 2020, with the requirement that the city have ownership of the new site by June 30th, 2019. The site selection was completed this past summer when the commission voted to support the purchase of the Boston Chinese Evangelical Church at 249 Harrison Avenue, which is in the lower right, at the May 15th Public Facilities Commission meeting, and then accept the transfer of 900 Washington Street, which is the modular units, at the June 12th Commission meeting. Notice of ownership of the site was relayed to the MSBA on June 25th, 2019, allowing the city to move forward with the design of the new permanent home of the Josiah Quincy Upper School, utilizing 249 Harrison Avenue and the adjacent parcel of 900 Washington Street. This will keep the JQS in Chinatown for generations to come and allow the school to build on their existing partnerships in the Chinatown community. Upon purchase of the property in June, PFD went to the City Council to appropriate funds for this next feasibility study. The matter was introduced on August 14, 2019, had a hearing with the Ways and Means Committee on August 18th, was reported out favorably, and unanimously passed at the City Council meeting on August 21st, 2019. In order to begin this next design of JQS, we are requesting the PFC vote to support $531,071 in additional funds to the contract of Skanska and $1,174,246 to the contract of HMFH Architects. If this project is approved for funding by the MSBA for phases beyond the feasibility study and schematic design, PFD will return to the Public Facilities Commission to further amend the contracts of the consultant team to provide additional services relative to design, bidding, and construction phases through completion of the building project. Once the contracts are amended, the design will likely take between 18 and 24 months, with the goal of starting site prep and demolition in the summer of 2021. I'll gladly answer any questions I may have at this time.
Thank you, Brian.
Excuse me.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners?
My only comment is this has been a long, tough project. You've had a lot of hurdles. I think it's great. We're finally getting final resolution and actual construction. I remember this site selection that's gone on for quite a long time.
Probably 2 decades almost, right?
Yes, no, I appreciate the background because I didn't know quite the entire history of it, but so I appreciate that. I make a motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's understood that votes 2 and votes 3 are approved for the record.
Thank
Thank you. Appreciate that. Vote number 4 is being presented by James Sessom. He's a project manager with the Public Facilities Department. The vote request concerns an amendment to the vote of August 5th, 2015, regarding a contract with Beasley, Chin, and Hunderman, P.C., doing business as WJE Engineers and Architects, for architectural design and construction administration services associated with the Boston Fire Department engine stations numbers 4, 14, and 55 for building envelope repairs. This is a project located in the West End, Roxbury, and West Roxbury. The request is a time extension to the design services contract and an increase of $68,298 in additional services and base contract work. James, if you'd present your vote request, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm here to request an amendment to the professional design and construction administration services contract with Beasley, Chin, and Hunderman, P.C., doing business as WJE Engineers and Architects, WJE, for the Boston Fire Department Engine 4, 14, and 55 building envelope repairs project. The Public Facilities Department is managing the design of and construction of the project. By way of background, WJE was retained to provide design and construction administration services for the project, which includes removal and replacement of roofing systems, replacement of windows, and limited masonry repairs. During design development, building materials that were to be replaced or repaired were tested for hazardous materials. Window caulking at both engines 14 and 55 tested positive for asbestos, and therefore the construction documents included instructions for the removal of these hazardous materials. However, the window caulking in engine number 4 tested negative for asbestos. Accordingly, the construction documents did not require any caulking removal for engine number 4. The reason for this amendment in engine number 4 is the reason for this request of additional services for WJE, an extension of 5 months to the contract's expiration date. During removal of the existing roof in engine 4, and before the installation of the new roofing system, water intrusion was detected as a result of roof leakage. As a result of the water intrusion, the interior plaster ceilings at engine number 4 began to fail. Of importance, the scope of work for the project did not include remediation or repair of the interior ceilings. Due to concerns, WJE had the ceilings tested for hazardous materials. The test results indicated that the ceilings contained asbestos fibers, which had to be abated. As a result, WJE retained a hazardous materials consultant to monitor the remediation work. Thereafter, the ceilings required plaster repair and painting. The unforeseen conditions of new work delayed scheduled construction activities that were part of the base scope of the services as publicly bid. Consequently, WJE could not complete its construction administration and project closeout services until the abatement and repair work were completed. During this time, engine number 4 was not in operation during the abatement work. Also, engine 4 remained closed while the ceilings were patched and painted. In addition, the hazardous materials consultant performed a retest of the windows in engine number 4, which revealed a layer of caulking that contained asbestos fibers. As a result, the station was again closed during the abatement period and installation of new windows, which you can see in the photo. In the summary, the testing, monitoring, and construction administration services for the interior plaster ceilings and windows were unforeseen and an added scope of design services. WJE and its subconsultants are providing these additional and necessary services. Accordingly, I'm before you today with this specific amendment request to allow the contract to include additional money and time for the completion of these services. If I may direct your attention to the slides. The first slide shows the exterior as it is now. If you walk down to 200 Cambridge Street, this would be what you would see in the front. The next slide shows at the time when the leaks occurred. Let's see if I can get this. Yes, it did. That shows where it was. You can see the bucket underneath. This was leaking when the roof had leaked. The next slide is what it looks like now. It's actually taken the same location, and you can see that the ceiling has been repaired, and we also can see that, let me run. You can see that it's a new window. There. And
There you go.
right again. So with you can see the window. The new window was put in. The abatement was done. Everything's been sealed. Everything passed inspections and certifications, and it's completely safe. and we negotiated a fee. In accordance with the project's publicly advertised RFQ guidelines for the design calculation, fee calculation, PFD and WJE negotiated the additional services not to exceed $68,298, with the completion of the remaining work to be done and final payment made on or before March 1st, 2020. In conclusion, I am seeking the PFD's approval to amend the professional design services contract with WJE for the reasons presented, which are also further noted in the project background memorandum submitted with this vote request. I welcome the opportunity to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim. Any comments or questions from the commissioners?
Yeah, just a question about the
Sure.
the time frame. Because typically these requests for extensions are like 6 months, 12 months. This one is 5, and also I know there were prior requests for time. So do you believe that you'll be needing another extension of time?
Correct. We extended the time. We've also extended the time of the construction contract to take care of all these issues that arise.
But it is not anticipated that we would need another extension beyond this.
I make a motion to approve this request.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Vote
you
number
very
two.
much, Commissioners.
Vote number 4 is approved. Is there a motion to adjourn this portion of the meeting?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Trish?